What if I told you that on July 18th, 2025, the WWE Universe witnessed the most shocking betrayal in Bloodline history? A car crash that wasn't an accident. A frame job that backfired spectacularly. And a chilling message from Roman Reigns that has everyone asking, is the original tribal chief about to unleash hell? You won't believe what really happened outside that SmackDown arena, and by the end of this video, you'll understand why this single night changed everything. The evidence is undeniable, the consequences are explosive, and the warning Roman delivered will give you goosebumps. This isn't just another wrestling storyline, this is family warfare at its most brutal. Welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest moments in WWE. I'm your host, and tonight we're diving deep into what might be the most jaw-dropping SmackDown episode of 2025. If you've been following the Bloodline saga, you know it's been a roller coaster of power struggles, betrayals, and family drama. But what happened on July 18th took things to a whole new level that nobody saw coming. We're talking about a night where Solo Sikoa's desperation led to criminal accusations, where Jacob Fatu proved he's nobody's pawn, and where Roman Reigns reminded everyone why he's still the head of the table. From a mysterious car crash to a shocking arrest, from security footage that changed everything to a warning that sent chills through the WWE Universe, this story has it all. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how Solo's master plan crumbled, why Jacob Fatu is now more dangerous than ever, and what Roman's return means for SummerSlam and beyond. So hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the bell because this deep dive is going to blow your mind. Let's get into the chaos. Picture this, the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, moments before SmackDown goes live. The parking lot should be quiet, filled with the usual pre-show energy. Instead, sirens are wailing, and a black SUV sits crumpled like a discarded soda can. This isn't just any vehicle, this is the kind of ride WWE superstars roll up in, and tonight it's become the centerpiece of a conspiracy that would shake the Bloodline to its core. Solo Sikoa and his MFT faction, Tongaloa, JC, Mateo, and Talatanga, stumble out of their damaged vehicle, looking rattled but wearing expressions that seem almost satisfied. The police are already on scene, asking questions, taking statements, and here's where things get interesting. They're looking for Jacob Fatu as their prime suspect. Now, if you know anything about the Samoan werewolf, you know he's not exactly the type to run from a fight, let alone a conversation with law enforcement. The cameras catch him backstage, pacing like a caged animal, his usual intensity cranked up to 11. He's brushing off security, muttering under his breath, and you can practically see the storm brewing behind his eyes. But here's what makes this moment so crucial. This isn't just about a car accident. This is about Solo Sikoa's desperate attempt to eliminate his biggest threat within the Bloodline. Ever since Jacob won the United States Championship at WrestleMania 41, he's been outshining Solo at every turn. The fans love him, his in-ring work is phenomenal, and he's everything Solo wishes he could be. So when faced with Jacob's rising star, Solo didn't choose to step up his game. He chose to tear Jacob down through deception and manipulation. The MFT wastes absolutely no time getting to that ring, and when Solo Sikoa grabs that microphone, you can practically feel the arrogance radiating through the screen. With Tongaloa, JC, Mateo, and Talatanga flanking him like loyal soldiers, Solo launches into a performance that would make any heel jealous. He's not just accusing Jacob Fatu of reckless driving, he's painting him as a dangerous criminal who can't be trusted around civilized society. But Solo doesn't stop there, and this is where his manipulation gets truly insidious. He starts rewriting history right before our eyes, claiming that he's the mastermind behind Jacob's entire career. According to Solo's twisted narrative, he pulled Jacob off the streets, molded him into championship material, and created the monster that is the Samoan werewolf. Now, he claims, Jacob is biting the hand that fed him, turning against the very person who made him successful. The crowd is booing mercilessly, but you can see Solo feeding off that negative energy like a vampire. This is classic heel psychology at its finest, arrogant, manipulative, and designed to make you want to see him get his comeuppance. He's positioning himself as the victim while simultaneously taking credit for Jacob's achievements, a level of gaslighting that would make a therapist's head spin. What makes this segment so effective is how it reveals Solo's true character. He's not just jealous of Jacob's success, he's terrified of being overshadowed. Ever since Roman Reigns lost the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40, Solo has been trying to fill shoes that are clearly too big for him. He declared himself the new tribal chief, formed the MFT, and even managed to controversially win the United States Championship from Jacob at Night of Champions. But deep down, he knows he's living in borrowed glory. Just when it looks like Jacob Fatu is about to be dragged away in handcuffs, the wrestling gods decide to intervene in the most dramatic way possible. The big screen in the arena suddenly lights up, and every single person in that building, from the front row to the nosebleeds, is about to witness a moment that will completely flip this story on its head. Security footage from the parking lot begins rolling, and it's crystal clear, high-definition evidence that destroys Solo's entire narrative in real time. There's Jacob Fatu, nowhere near the scene of the crash. The timestamp shows exactly where he was when the incident occurred, and it's physically impossible for him to have been involved. The police review the footage right there in the arena, and just like that, Jacob is completely exonerated. The crowd's reaction is absolutely electric. They erupt into chants of Samoan werewolf that shake the building to its foundation. But it's Jacob's expression that tells the real story. You can see the exact moment his rage transforms into something far more dangerous, calculated revenge. That smirk spreading across his face isn't just satisfaction at being cleared. It's the look of a predator who's just realized his prey has walked directly into his trap. This moment is crucial because it represents more than just Jacob's innocence. It exposes Solo's desperation and willingness to destroy family for personal gain. The security footage doesn't just clear Jacob. It reveals Solo as a manipulative schemer who is willing to send his own blood to jail to maintain his fragile grip on power. The WWE Universe is witnessing the complete moral bankruptcy of someone who claims to be the tribal chief, and they're loving every second of Jacob's vindication. Jacob Fatu is not the type of man who forgives and forgets, and what happens next is pure, unfiltered vengeance served at its most brutal. He grabs Jimmy USO, yes, the original Bloodline member who's been backing him up through this entire ordeal, and together they storm that ring like a tsunami of Samoan fury that's been building for months. What unfolds is nothing short of a masterclass in controlled violence. Jacob and Jimmy systematically dismantled JC Mateo and Tongaloa, turning the squared circle into their personal war zone. We're talking super kicks that could decapitate, Samoan drops that rattle the ring posts, and moonsaults that defy the laws of physics. The MFT, for all their earlier bravado, suddenly look like amateur hour when faced with legitimate Bloodline royalty. Solo Sikoa, ever the opportunist and coward, sees the tide turning and makes the smart play. He hightails it out of that ring faster than a tourist fleeing a hurricane, leaving his so-called family to absorb the beating he orchestrated. It's a moment that perfectly encapsulates Solo's leadership style, all talk when he's in control, but nowhere to be found when the consequences come calling. But Jacob isn't finished delivering his message. He grabs the microphone and cuts a promo that's equal parts fire and heart, calling out Solo for the frame job, for underestimating the Samoan werewolf, and for thinking he could control someone who was born to be untamed. The crowd is eating up every single word, and you can physically feel the momentum shifting in the arena. This isn't just about revenge anymore. This is Jacob Fatu proving that he's not Solo's creation or anyone else's shadow. He's his own force of nature, and Solo just awakened something that can't be put back to sleep. Just when Solo thinks he's escaped the immediate consequences of his actions, SmackDown General Manager Adam Pearce steps out with the kind of bombshell that makes wrestling fans lose their minds. Pearce, who has clearly had enough of Solo's scheming and manipulation, reveals that he has concrete proof Solo orchestrated the entire car crash to frame Jacob Fatu. This isn't speculation or hearsay. This is documented evidence of a conspiracy that goes straight to the top of the MFT. Pierce's punishment is swift and brutal. Solo Sikoa will be locked in a steel cage with Jacob Fatu at SummerSlam for the United States Championship. No escape, no interference, no backup, just two Samoan powerhouses settling their differences in the most unforgiving structure WWE has to offer. The crowd absolutely loses it, and Solo's face becomes a masterpiece of shock, rage, and barely concealed terror. You can see him calculating his odds and realizing they're not good. But the night's surprises aren't over yet. Solo, in his infinite arrogance, actually starts smirking when police officers show up ringside, thinking they're there for Jacob despite the security footage. In a twist that sends shockwaves through the arena and breaks the internet, those handcuffs click around Solo's wrists instead. He's being arrested for orchestrating the frame job, and the WWE Universe is going absolutely wild. The visual of Solo Sikoa being led away in handcuffs while the crowd chants for Jacob is poetry in motion. Social media explodes with posts like Solo getting what he deserves and justice for Jacob. This isn't just a wrestling angle anymore. This feels real, raw, and emotionally satisfying in a way that transcends sports entertainment. Solo's master plan hasn't just failed, it's completely destroyed his credibility and potentially his freedom. But the real bombshell comes after SmackDown goes off the air, when a video surfaces on WWE social media that sends chills down every wrestling fan's spine. Roman Reigns, the original tribal chief, the man who ran WWE for years, steps into frame with a message that's equal parts promise and threat. Solo, you thought you could play games with family? You thought you could frame Jacob and walk away? You're not the tribal chief. You're not even close. You crossed the line, and now I'm coming for you. Acknowledge me. Roman's delivery is ice cold, calculated, and absolutely terrifying. This isn't the passionate anger of someone caught up in the moment. This is the controlled fury of a man who's been watching from the shadows, taking notes, and planning his return. He's not just mad about Solo's betrayal of Jacob. He's furious about Solo's entire reign as the self-proclaimed tribal chief and the way he's tarnished the Bloodline legacy. What makes this warning so effective is Roman's restraint. He doesn't need to shout or make grand gestures. His reputation speaks for itself. When Roman Reigns says he's coming for you, it's not a threat, it's a statement of fact. He's the man who held the Universal Championship for 1,316 days, who main event multiple WrestleManias, and who built the Bloodline into the most dominant faction in modern WWE history. This message sets the stage for an explosive SummerSlam where Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa will collide in that steel cage, but now there's the very real possibility that Roman Reigns will be lurking in the shadows, ready to remind everyone who the real head of the table is. The Bloodline Civil War just got a nuclear weapon, and his name is Roman Reigns. So there you have it, one of the wildest nights in SmackDown history, from a mysterious car crash that exposed Solo Sikoa's desperation to his shocking arrest and Roman Reigns' bone-chilling warning that has the entire WWE Universe buzzing. This isn't just another chapter in the Bloodline saga, this is the moment everything changed. Jacob Fatu has proven he's nobody's shadow, standing tall as a legitimate main event star who won't be manipulated or controlled. Solo Sikoa's master plan didn't just fail, it completely destroyed his credibility and potentially his freedom. And Roman Reigns? He's reminded everyone that you can take the man out of the tribal chief position, but you can't take the tribal chief out of the man. SummerSlam 2025 is shaping up to be absolutely explosive. Jacob versus Solo in a steel cage for the United States Championship is already must-see television, but with Roman potentially lurking in the shadows, we could be looking at a Bloodline Civil War that reshapes the entire landscape of WWE. What do you think happens next? Will Jacob reclaim his championship and cement his status as a top star? Can Solo somehow escape the consequences of his actions? Or is Roman Reigns about to take back his throne and remind everyone why he's the original tribal chief? Drop your predictions in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your theories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of wrestling's most compelling storylines, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow and lets me know you want more content like this. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on the Bloodline saga or any other wrestling drama that's keeping us all on the edge of our seats. Until next time, keep your eyes on the ring, because in WWE, family drama hits different, and the Bloodline story is far from over. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.